the biggest thing you got to get down to with people is what's the why.
Yeah.
So a common thing that, you might have somebody come in and they're going to be like, hey, I want to lose 40 pounds. And my first question back is, why 40?
Yeah.
Why not 39? Why not 41?
What's your why?
And then the person kind of looks at you for a second.
Yeah.
And I end up having to ask more questions, but you might get down to it and say, they might determine, okay, well, this is the weight I was before I had my baby. And this is when I felt the best, and this is when I felt confident in my skin. So there's the why right there.
Yeah.
So now that I know that, and now that she's talked about it, we have a clear path.
Exactly. So you find the person's why before we even
do it.
Welcome to another episode of Kickin' It with JB, man. I'm excited about this episode. I say that every single time, again, always. But I'm really excited about this episode because this man has put me on to a lot. And you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
So, yeah, I'm Zach, Coach Zach to some people. I've been coaching the past probably 3 years. I worked in various gyms for the first 2. And then this past year, I've kind of decided to take my own route.
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah, so trying to be an entrepreneur, get the business built up. It's called Bauler Built Coaching, so you can feel free to look that up. It's on Instagram.
Facts. That's dope. So today we'll be talking about health and wellness, and looking at me, everybody thinks I'm just this health freak, that I'm probably like vegan, never eat meat in my life. I just work out every day. Everybody always wants to know my workout plans, but people who are actually around me know that I have probably some of the worst health habits like of any athlete, man. So you are very passionate about health and wellness. So what actually makes you passionate about health and wellness?
So I think the direct link that makes me so passionate about this is that coaches spend more time around their clients than any other professional does. Right? So, like, let's say you go to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
How long do you think you see your doctor for?
Maybe an hour for a long time.
That would be like a pretty extensive checkup,
exactly,
right?
That's a long time.
But like the last physical I went to, I saw my doctor for like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Right?
But
if you think about a coach, let's say you have somebody 4 times a week for an hour. That's a substantial amount of quality time with someone.
That's a long time.
And I think you're really able to make the type of impact that you want to. And I think I'm so passionate about this because, I've seen what it's done for myself, and then I've seen what I've been able to do for other people.
100%. So I feel like, because people always tell me, oh, you should be a trainer, I feel like a lot of the times you're training the mentality, like you're training their mental, like as much as their physical. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of times when I talk to trainers, like they'll like be obviously training them, but half the time the person just wants to talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just want to talk about like life, their wife, their kids, you know what I'm saying? What, like, how am I going to lose this weight? So how do you deal with that? Is it like that other aspect of it? Like, do you have to, or are you like one of those trainers that's like, let's just work out and let's train?
No, so if I was that, I wouldn't make any money,
facts,
right?
That's true.
But I am naturally an introverted person.
Yeah, so that's tough.
But this has actually forced me to get to know people better, and it's improved my social skills. But the biggest thing you got to get down to with people is what's the why.
Yeah.
So a common thing that, you might have somebody come in and they're going to be like, hey, I want to lose 40 pounds. And my first question back is, why 40?
Yeah.
Why not 39? Why not 41?
What's your why?
And then the person kind of looks at you for a second.
Yeah.
And I end up having to ask more questions, but you might get down to it and say, they might determine, okay, well, this is the weight I was before I had my baby. And this is when I felt the best, and this is when I felt confident in my skin. So there's the why right there.
Yeah.
So now that I know that, and now that she's talked about it, we have a clear path.
Exactly. So you find the person's why before we even
do anything.
Okay, before you even do anything. Okay, let's say you're working with a person and they get 2-3 months in. It's easy to be motivated in the beginning, but how do you start to deal with those people when it's like month 3 and they haven't really seen, like, you've seen improvement.
Right.
They haven't really seen improvement because they look at themselves every day. You know what I'm saying? So how do you deal with that unmotivated person that you're training or want to work out?
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that.
Yeah.
So a clear way would be like objective data, right? Like you could
weight loss. And
sure, like that
numbers.
Or, numbers, right?
Numbers,
so you could do like inches lost, right? Or you could do, hey, you added 80 pounds to your back squat max.
Yeah.
That's ginormous,
100%.
right? But you can also look at it, and this is kind of the coaching style I have right now, is everything's based on habits, right? So let's say that 3 months ago, you didn't eat breakfast. For lunch, you ate McDonald's, and then for dinner, you heated something up at home. And throughout the day, you weren't drinking any water.
Sounds like me,
right? So let's say that first month we adjust breakfast. I'm like, hey, we're gonna start getting you eating breakfast. And let's say that person eats breakfast every day for 30 days. That's pretty close to a habit, right?
Yeah,
I know that science says it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but you get the point of what I'm going towards.
100%.
And I think that oftentimes people try to do it all at the same time.
People want results right now.
Yeah.
Like they want Instagram, like they want to be, flexing. They want the six. They want
flexing.
If we started in January, by May, I better be beach body ready, even if I weigh 800 pounds.
Right.
So like, how do you deal with that with people who want that instant gratification? Like, yo, it's been 3 weeks, Zach. What's up? Like, why aren't I lost 8 pounds? Where's my 6-pack at?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you have to educate people on it, and I think that that's something that commonly isn't done by coaches. Is like, you have a substantial amount of education, or if you don't, you have access to a ton of education, right?
Shout out the internet.
That you can read, you can look up articles, and everything. You can do continuing ed, and so like a weakness in my coaching was sales. I didn't know how to make a sale. Yeah, I have all the education.
You got like sell yourself,
right?
Yeah,
right. And I have all the experience, but I couldn't get my message across to those that needed it.
That's huge. And what's funny? Like, you have all that, but some people only have the sales, and they're killing it.
They're doing better than me.
They're killing it because they're a salesperson. They can sell themselves, sell them workouts. It makes it sound good. It's like, feeding candy to a baby, but then a guy like you who isn't the best at sales, but is probably most likely the best for that person, is having a hard time getting that person because you're not like in their face. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then how do you like get around that? Putting yourself out there?
Yeah. So putting myself out there more, and I have vision statements for my life, right? And for my coaching, practice, business. Yeah. And the purpose statement that I have is I want to help as many people move closer to optimum health and further away from death. So if you think about it on like a spectrum, so let's say like on one side is death, right? Yeah. And on the other side is optimum health, right? We're going to constantly fluctuate based on the things that we do. Yeah. And you don't really ever stay in the same. But my goal as a coach is, how many people can I get to the right side and keep them over there? Because it doesn't mean anything to me if you're great for a year and then everything's gone, poof, right?
It's like,
and that circles back to the habits-based approach, right? When these things become daily habits, you don't think about it anymore. I don't think about drinking water because I just do it, 100%. Because I've been doing it, right? I don't think about going to the gym anymore. It just happens. It's just a part of my day, right? Facts. And I think
part of your routine.
I think so many people try to do it all at the same time.
That is true.
So they go from not working out, not looking into their nutrition, not talking about their mindset, what's going on with the demons in their head,
100%,
not sleeping right, and then
try to flip a switch,
and then a coach, is gonna, hey, we're doing all of this
at one time.
So what would you rather do? Would you rather climb a ladder where there's 10 feet between each rung, or would you rather climb one where there's one foot between each?
1 foot.
Right? You might get there faster if you do the 10-foot one. Yeah. But where's your margin for error? Right?
Preach it right now.
Your margin for error on the 1-foot one is there's little to no risk.
Exactly.
Right? But if you want to skip steps and you don't want to have the foundation and you're just going to say, I'm just going to go for it.
I'll try it.
That could work for some people. But in my experience, most people,
Probably not.
We're gonna have that same conversation 6 months from now that we did when you came in the first time.
Exactly.
Right.
So being a coach, man, you sound like a natural born coach. Like where would you say you got your coaching style from? Would you say from the different coaches you got? Did you like take some stuff from this coach, from that coach, or like are you just kind of like I'm just me, I'm Zach, this is how I am, and like this is how because I feel like you gotta at least being in sports, everyone has to be coached differently.
Right.
So do you coach everyone differently, or do you coach everyone?
Yeah. So everybody that works with me one-on-one requires everybody's different, right?
Exactly.
So there's no one prescription that I give people. But in terms of like my coaching style, it was a lot of hard work to develop it. And ultimately I've had some mentors along the way.
Yeah.
Mike Savat was I would consider him my first coach in terms of weightlifting, kind of CrossFit, strength and conditioning stuff.
Love mentors.
And he showed me a lot of what I think a coach was supposed to be. So a lot of his stuff I've emulated.
Yeah.
And then, some of it is just kind of things I've figured out along the way.
Really?
Like what I thought worked well, what maybe didn't work well. I'll never be the cheerleader coach. Yeah. So you'll see that a lot, 100%. Especially in CrossFit gyms.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You'll see the rah-rah, the clappers, the jumping around. And that's just not my style. I mean, you hire me as your coach, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to have fun. Anybody that I've worked with will say, like, we had fun and they learned a lot. Yeah. That's another thing is that I'm teaching people.
Exactly.
It does you no good if I hold all the information and you don't learn anything along the way.
100%.
Because how are you supposed to keep these results the rest of your life if you don't know anything?
That's a fact, because it's easy to go be with a trainer every day and then kind of like
what happens, let's say
yourself.
Right. Well, let's say you have a financial hardship and you go, hey, Zach, I love you, but I got to get my life right.
Yeah.
But I didn't set you up for success.
Literally.
I only set you up for success when you were with me.
Yeah. Nah, facts. I literally feel like I have a soul tie with my trainer right now.
Exactly.
I legitimately have a soul tie. Like, my trainer is a single-handedly reason why I will not leave the state of Illinois. Like, he's the reason I won't leave. And I want to leave so bad. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to get up out of here. I know Southern, like, the South is, like, calling my name. You know what I'm saying?
Warm weather.
But I just, like, it's so hard for me to find a good trainer that you really cling to because, like you said, like, I damn near could talk to my trainer about anything now. You know what I'm saying? And he's like obviously one of my best friends. So it's just that different aspect of just like how important it is in that relationship with your trainer is humongous. Yeah. And I think that's dope that you take the time to really learn each one of your clients. I think that's so far. I think that's very important.
But I feel that like it was hard for me when I graduated college and leaving my gym that I was at for 3 years. Yeah. Because of how much I looked up to him, right? And but it was shortly after that I started coaching. Yeah. And it took a gym giving me a chance for me to actually figure all this stuff out. So for that, I'm like forever grateful to that gym.
Exactly.
Despite things not working out.
100%.
Had I not had that opportunity, things could be different now.
That's true.
So, there's been a lot of struggles. Yeah. Coaching's not easy.
I know. I bet. I mean, I don't know, but
I can't give it up.
100%.
And I think that's the thing that I've learned this year was it's just who I am.
Okay, do you feel that so you got a gym in your basement right here? I see.
Yeah, it's a work in progress for sure.
Hey,
a lot going on over there.
It's better than is that a revert? What is that? Glute ham?
It's a glute ham developer. Like, that was my gift one year for working all the holidays at the gym.
They were getting ham machine in his basement? Nobody.
Not a normal person.
Exactly. No, so how do you go about programming your different like for your different clients? Because I know some people sell the same program for every single
cookie
person.
Cutter program.
Yeah, it's just like, bro, like what, like that.
Yeah,
and a lot of people just try to make as much money off that as they possibly can.
And I don't want to like shame those people because they're probably working with substantially more people than I am.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You have to think like I only have like maybe 10 clients.
Yeah, still fun.
So to get to your question. So the biggest things is there has to be I don't do like a questionnaire, but there's a pretty extensive like conversation I have with the person about what are they looking to achieve, why are they looking to achieve it, what's their history, because I'm going to treat a person that's been in the gym 10 years differently than a person that's been in 3 months.
Facts.
Okay. And then also an assessment, right?
Yeah.
So like one of my assessments I do is like you'll rest as needed between, but you're going to do a max plank on your elbows. Just normal plank, right? You're going to do a max plank on each side.
Okay.
And then you'll do a max glute bridge. So what I'm doing there is I'm assessing your core strength, right?
Yeah.
And if you can't get those to 90 seconds, you might not be structurally strong enough for me to have you back squat. Right?
What?
But a lot of coaches, you're going to come in day one, and they're going to be like, all right, here we go, compound movements, let's look at back squat. And it's like, you might not have earned the right to back squat.
Jesus Christ.
You might not, and it's the same thing with these gyms that do these high-intense workouts.
I might take this.
It's like, you haven't earned the right to be intense.
Yeah. Because
you don't know where your body is in space.
Exactly.
You don't have the type of conditioning you need to support all they're making you do. And you're probably not structurally strong enough. Man. And this isn't like a slight.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No, because when I started strength training my sophomore year of high school, I wasn't strong enough to hold a bar on my back.
Really?
I took one step backwards and damn near fell over, and the football coach had to take the bar and be like, all right, I don't think we're going to back squat today. Yeah, so everybody starts somewhere.
Exactly.
But I think that's something that coaches get caught up in is, like, listen, everybody knows that there's, 10 to 15 exercises that you do, and you just rotate them with different variations, right? Nobody's making new exercises, and if they are, they're full of crap.
Say that.
All right? But, what you might want to do is, all right, let's just see your bodyweight squat.
Yeah.
All right, now let's have you goblet squat, right? We do those at Olympia, right? And then if they're strong enough to do that, they're probably strong enough to support a bar on their back.
If you can
know what I mean?
Squat and goblet squat.
Right. But if you're not structurally strong enough, that's when injuries happen. And then I lose you, right? And then it's, oh, no, I got hurt at Zach's gym.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
I'm trying to hurt people. I'm trying to make people better.
100%.
So.
No, that's awesome. So let's move along. So what do you feel the industry, like the strength and conditioning or the wellness and health industry can do to improve itself?
Yeah, so this is something I've actually thought a lot about. And basically I feel like it's very divided. So Orange Theory thinks it's best, right? CrossFit thinks it's best. Powerlifting thinks it's best.
CrossFit.
Right? Yeah. Everybody, there's 1,000 different ways to skin this cat, right?
100%.
But when you get down to it, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to have people moving, trying to make them stronger, and like we talked about, that continuum, right?
Yeah,
Move them, make their health markers better, right? Max. So if you have 40% body fat, maybe we can get it down to 30, right? Exactly. So I think coaches need to unify.
Like on all those umbrellas?
Right. And I actually think this should be at the federal level. Because think about like all these other government agencies.
Yeah.
Right? That work together.
Yeah.
And then you think about the fitness industry, it's like the Wild West. You just got people running around.
Doing whatever they want.
It's wild.
Slapping their name on it.
Exactly. Right? It's wild. And I think it would be good to have somebody or a council at the head and bringing everybody together. It's like CrossFit gyms hate export. Because they say, oh, you guys use machines, you don't actually get anything done. Your trainers are, they're not educated, they make $9 an hour, whatever, right?
Seriously, yeah.
And then those gyms look at CrossFit gyms, are like, well, you guys can't make any money. You injure your people,
Say
right?
That.
So there's like petty feuding.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And it just gets back to like, why are you even doing this in the first place? Right?
Yeah.
You want to help people.
100%.
You enjoy helping people. And yes, you want to make money doing it, right?
Obviously. And it's a common goal. You guys all have a common goal, which is helping people, like you said, making them healthy, making them stronger, making them, just a better lifestyle. But it's just so much divide, I guess.
Yes.
I wouldn't even have known.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, me and my homies joke about, like, just like, I haven't been to a normal gym in in forever
See?
because we go to like
Me neither.
like an athletic gym where it's like all athletes. You go to like a strength and
Yeah,
conditioning
it's
gym. You know
there's not a lot of machines in there. It's
Yeah.
it's barbells and kettlebells and
Exactly.
dumbbells and racks and
Facts.
and pull-up bars and I even if I go to like a Lifetime, I feel a little out of place.
Man,
Because it's like, oh, this is not my environment.
It's just weird. It's just like every time I go there, dudes see me, bro. How much do you bench, bro?
Right, exactly.
How much do you squat?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, if you don't shut up,
Right.
like, and let me
Right.
just
Don't you see
do
I
my
got
thing for
headphones
real,
on?
like, and still
Because
trying to
at my
talk to me.
gym, nobody comes up to me asking me that.
Man, you know what I'm
Right?
saying? It's just like, bro, how much do you squat, bro? How much do you
Yeah.
bench? Like, bro, shut up. I'm sorry, I don't bench and squat every day. Like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? That's
right.
not my only two lists.
That's not like the best indicator of health, right? Some of the
Exactly.
strongest people die the youngest, right?
Facts. And I even like I remember a couple years ago I went to Planet Fitness with my mom and I felt
I've never
so
been there.
It's a different place.
You don't got James walking around in there.
It's a different place. It was like the first
running
time.
backs walking around. in
Man,
those.
it was weird. It was a
Yeah.
weird vibe, but it's different. But I see some of my homies work out at Planet Fitness and
Again, it just gets
they
back
get it
to
in.
like the common goal.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like we're all the genuine coaches are doing it for a big reason, which is helping people.
100%.
Right?
That's the main goal.
And whether that means and I think too, in terms of clients and their success, like you have to have them doing what they enjoy. So like, and that's why I think there's not really one way to go about doing this.
Exactly.
Like, let's say a person likes spin class, then that person should do spin class, right?
Yeah, facts.
But if I'm making them be a power lifter and every day they dread
CrossFit.
coming to the gym,
Yeah.
it's kind of like maybe I'm not setting them up for success,
kind
right?
of defeating the purpose.
And it's the same thing with like nutrition, which is, I think this is like the biggest problem, is that everybody thinks their diet is the best. But if there was one diet that was the best, why would there be 100 of them?
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Who knew?
you'll have the people that say keto's best.
I was just gonna say that. That's the only one.
Right?
I know keto. I know vegan. I like to tell people I'm pescatarian. I don't even know what that means.
That means you don't eat meat, but you'll eat fish.
Exactly. Then I also say I tell everybody I don't eat pork. I also tell people I don't eat red meat because I heard red meat is terrible for you.
True.
Didn't know that.
Okay, so
is it?
quickly on the red
Vegetarian.
meat thing,
Here we go.
right? So I saw a commercial the other day for these power plant patties or whatever. These
I'll be getting those. Is that bad?
You get those?
Like the plant.
Okay, well,
based?
so look at the ingredient list on that.
I don't do that.
There's like 50 ingredients in there, right?
50.
Yeah. What's the ingredient list on beef? Beef. Right.
For real?
Right. Yeah. So it's hard for me when these companies try to sell me
Oh no.
overly processed stuff.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
Hold on. Don't forget what you're about to say. So you mean to tell me when I be buying that plant based stuff, thinking I'm next level, like next generation, like I'm up there in the totem pole of health, I'm actually just buying junk when I could just be buying normal meat?
I would say, yeah, you should be buying normal meat. Now, don't get me wrong. If people are vegan because like religious wise, yeah, do your thing, right?
100% with my power
And
to you.
even and I understand the animal aspect.
Yeah.
Like if you genuinely feel in your heart that it's wrong to the animals, then do it.
Yeah, facts.
But my problem is when vegans try to tell me that it's better for performance,
Ooh.
and it's not.
Have you ever seen
just
Game
not.
Changer?
No,
Me
I
neither.
would never watch that.
I gotta watch it though.
It-
Everyone keeps telling me to watch it.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, once you watch Game Changer on Netflix, you will go vegan.
Well, think about cavemen. What do cavemen eat?
Meat.
Right?
That's true.
And the cavemen that ate meat had bigger brains.
Swear.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to sit here and this commercial is telling me, hey, buy our plant-based patties, right? And all I have to do is flip over the box and look at the ingredient list.
Yeah.
And if I don't know what it is and I can't pronounce it, is that something I should put in my body?
Probably not.
Right.
Probably
Right.
not. Wow.
So again, that kind of meat, like red meat is demonized. It makes no sense.
why? Okay, then what is a negative stigma on red meat? Because I want to know. Because I love steak.
And you should. It's delicious.
Is that okay
and
to eat steak? But I heard steak is bad.
I just had double steak from Chipotle.
But I heard steak is like bad for. I don't know if it. People just tell me stuff.
They think that there's like a direct correlation between like heart disease and like cholesterol, right?
But
you know what gives people heart disease? McDonald's.
Okay.
Right? It's like food quality matters.
Okay.
So if you what would be better, eating a breakfast sandwich from McDonald's or making your own scrambled eggs with a banana with some whole grain toast? I would argue making your own eggs with toast.
What about white toast though? Is that okay?
I mean,
here we go.
Listen.
Okay. That's where you draw the line. You can eat red meat.
No.
You can eat all the meat, beef, but white bread is where we draw the line.
There's so many different opinions on carbs. and it's wild. It's just like I had a mentor in college that would always say moderation in everything, including moderation.
You got to say that again.
So moderation in everything, including moderation. So what that means is,
okay, science.
Like, yeah, it's probably not great for you to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal every single day.
100%.
Right?
Learn it the hard way.
Shout
out my cavities.
If one time a week I want to have a bowl of cereal, that is not going to change the fact that 95% of the time I'm on my game, right?
Yeah.
And again, when your daily habits support, like when you have your foundation and your daily habits are locked in,
yeah,
you can go out and have a couple beers and some chicken wings with your friends, and it doesn't get you off track.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is like, unless you're eating like 3,500 more calories than your maintenance, you're not gaining weight.
Yeah.
It's sodium and water retention.
Wow.
Which goes away in a day. And that's why you shouldn't weigh yourself every day. Because things fluctuate. Things change. Especially for women, right?
Yeah.
Because they have all kinds of stuff going on that we don't know about
100%.
that can cause their weight to fluctuate 5 pounds.
In a day?
Yeah. They didn't gain 5 pounds.
In a day.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if you... So let's say... Let's say you eat like relatively lower carb, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say you're a keto guy or whatever. And
keto guy.
And you go and you're like, you know what? That pasta, let's get some Olive Garden.
Okay. Breadsticks.
Well, you're going to hold on to like, I think it's like a gram of water or 4 grams of water for every gram of carbohydrate you eat. So think about like, let's say you normally eat 50 grams of carbs a day, and then you were to eat 400.
In one day?
Right.
Okay.
But let's say your calories were the same.
Yeah, you're speaking Spanish.
Okay, so like, let's say you eat 3,000 calories a day. Right?
Yeah. But
one of the days was low fat and was high carb.
Okay.
And then the other day was high fat and low carb.
Mm-hmm.
You like, let's say you ate that high fat day first, and then the next day you had a high carb day. If you weighed yourself that third day, so the day after, it's all gonna be water weight because your body is holding on to water from the carbohydrates you consumed. And that's why when people do keto and they're like, I lost 8 pounds in the first week, I was like, awesome, you lost water. Right? Because
way to shoot their whole dream.
So if you were, well, think about it. If you were eating 300 grams of carbs a day before, and you go down to 40, you're losing all the water that the carbs were holding on to.
Wow.
Right? And that's kind of how your weight can fluctuate.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, what do you find that the most everyday people and athletes struggle with, and like where can they become more knowledgeable? We kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit. It's definitely like your daily habits. Your daily habits need to support the goals that you have.
Yeah.
And I always kind of tell people like a metaphor of like the pebble at the top of the mountain, right? Like, let's say it starts rolling downhill. It starts as a really small pebble, then it goes to a small snowball.
Yeah.
Then eventually it's a full-on avalanche and everything's going downhill, right?
Exactly.
And I use that metaphor because it's the same thing with our goals. Like if I'm working with somebody and we do this like questionnaire, this assessment, and I'm gonna give my suggestions, right? And I'm gonna have them rank what they think would be the most difficult to do right now.
Yeah.
So let's say you drink 3 cans of Coke every day, and you're like, Zach, I can't get rid of that, or I can't do it right now. I need it, right? We might attack some other goals first, because then you get more confident.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So then once we've hit 3 or 4 goals, you're feeling good, you're feeling more confident, you're like, okay, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
But we don't take the soda out all the way.
Exactly.
We take 1 out.
Oh.
So we go from 3 to 2.
Okay.
Right? Then we go from 2 to 1, and then maybe she can have that one for a long time. It's not that big of a deal, because she already went from 3 to 1, and we changed all these other daily habits.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Right?
Wow.
Because, like, my vice is caffeine.
Yeah.
Right? I drink too much caffeine. Right? I try to drink less. Some days I'm good. Some days I'm not good.
Yeah.
Right? But I would feel worse about it if all my other habits weren't locked in.
Oh, that's true.
Like, I drink a substantial amount of water. I eat 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. I hit my protein number. I try to get good sleep.
Yes.
I work out.
Facts.
So when you do all those other things, it's not the biggest deal if one day a week you decide I'm going to have a donut with my friends at the office. It's not a big deal anymore.
That's my next question. So, like, what about for people who are drinkers? Because I've been told that, like, you can work out, train, blah, 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 do all that, 5 days a week. But then come Saturday, if you drink heavily, you lost that whole week's of training and lifting. Is that true?
A lot of people have like an all or nothing approach with this. And they think, I don't think you could ruin a week. I don't feel that way. Because those are the same people that say, like, let's say they have a donut on a Saturday morning. They're like, oh, I've already messed up. I'll start again Monday.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, what about, you still have all of Saturday and all of Sunday, right?
Exactly.
Like, let's say you had a bad quarter in football. Are you going to punt the rest of that game?
No.
Or was the rest of the game a failure?
Get back out there.
We've seen it all, like the Kansas City Chiefs last year.
Facts.
They were losing almost that whole game. They got it together, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's something people need to remember is this is not a pass-fail test.
100%.
Right? This is an accumulation. And I think about it like a class that you would have in college, right? Like, there might be quizzes every week. There might be homework assignments. There might be maybe there's a big exam, right?
Yeah.
But you don't typically fail a class because of one exam. Now, there are some classes that are like that.
Yeah.
But most of my experience was if I did poorly in a class, it was because of my effort that whole semester.
Exactly.
So think about if your effort's bad on a 3-month stretch.
Then,
One day, I'm not going to sweat one day.
Yeah.
I don't sweat the holidays anymore, but I used to.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Was that just coming from experience, learning from experience? And
It's
so you were,
so,
at one point, you were all or nothing kind of like.
oh, 100%.
Really?
Yeah. So at like my,
one donut.
I would say like as an adult, right?
Yeah.
At my leanest I ever was 6'1" and I was about 175 pounds, right?
Yeah.
And, like 6% body fat. It was stupid,
Yeah,
right? I was stupid small.
You were going crazy.
But that was when I was my most miserable. And I was miserable to be around.
Really?
And that was when my mental health was at its worst.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But you were at the healthiest body-wise.
But health markers, probably I was as healthy as it could get, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I wasn't telling people about the injuries I had because I wasn't feeding myself and how hard I was working, right? I wasn't talking about like the disordered eating patterns I had developed, right? Yeah. Because you become so fixated on like a certain look.
Exactly.
Right?
Or
like a 22-year-old man shouldn't be eating 2,200 calories a day when they're working out 3 hours a day, right? So
just killing yourself.
From it took me, I did that, I was crazy about it for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And my mental health was awful, right? And I was, people didn't want to hang out with me. They didn't want to go out with me, right? Man. And I would say no.
No bad vibes.
I would say no. Yeah. My friends would go out for drinks. I'd be like, no, I'm sorry. I got to work out in the morning. I'm not a professional athlete. I can't use that excuse.
That guy.
I was just a guy working out that was like, no, working out in the morning and get some good sleep tonight. Like, no, I probably could go out for a beer and nothing bad would happen.
Exactly.
Right? I used to weigh out my Christmas meals on a food scale. So I would put the food scale down.
Like with the family.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy to think about it now. Yeah. Right?
That's wild.
And
what about Thanksgiving?
Same thing. Right? If I went out to eat, which at that time was rare that I would say yes, seriously, I would try to dictate where we went based off of me knowing the menu and knowing, okay, you know what, I can track that.
Yeah.
Right? I can. So like we have
many macros are
we have this place over here that was a go-to because they had a blackened salmon there, and it was super easy for me to track. Yeah. And I'll be like, no, let's go there then if we're gonna go out, right? Other people might not have wanted to go there.
Dude, you were the worst kind of.
It was crazy. Yeah, 100%.
The worst.
And it took me a lot of effort to. It's all deep down just not accepting yourself.
Facts.
Right. Ooh. Right? Yeah. That's where all this stemmed from.
100%.
I felt like I had to look a certain way. Mm-hmm. I had to perform a certain way.
Be at a certain number, hit a certain number.
Yeah, exactly. And when I put all that stuff to the side, it was almost like enlightening. Because now I can go to Chipotle with my friend after a good workout, and I don't twice about it.
Yeah, right? You don't.
I can enjoy a Christmas meal with my family, and I don't stress about it anymore.
100%.
Right? But it took me. It was really hard for me to get to that point.
No, I bet.
And that's another reason why I think I'm able to connect with people because although I didn't have like, a lot of things that are talked about are like food addiction or like binge eating. Right? I didn't have any of that, but I definitely had like OCD and like disordered eating patterns for sure. Yeah. I was trying to control my food, right? Yeah. So there was not a healthy relationship. And I think that's important. People need to have a healthy relationship with food.
Man. You need to have a healthy relationship with food, healthy relationship with yourself.
Right.
And they're both big.
You gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was taking care of myself. I thought I was taking care of myself physically. I thought that's what, and I was young. I was like 21 years old.
It'd be like that.
And I didn't know anything.
Man.
And then it wasn't until I hit my breaking point. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore.
100%.
Right? So
definitely feel that. So then that leads me to my last question. This one's funny. Yeah. Because you even went in on me about this.
Yeah, so, we talked about this last Tuesday. Yeah.
So my last question to you is what are your thoughts on the industry and supplements? I mean the vitamins and vitamins and what is it? Supplements industry, yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to tell him the story. I remember I came into work on Tuesday to this man. I was excited about it. I'm thinking I'm about to.
I felt so bad,
man,
that I put out your fire with that,
bro. I was hot. I was like, because I don't ever buy that stuff. So
right.
I finally got my Costco card for the first time.
You were doing good for a long time.
I was flexing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let's go. I bought my first Costco card, fell into the Costco vortex, ended up spending way too much money than I should have. Mm-hmm. And then I remember my homie was like, bro, like, get your vitamins from Costco. I'm like, okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. Now I'm texting them saying what vitamins they got. Like, oh, just do like the 1-a-day men's vitamins. Mm-hmm. Like, so it like has like everything. And then do like some turmeric and stuff like that. Yeah. Whatever. So I'm like, cool. Got my little 1-day men's, little gummy ones because I like stuff that tastes good. Yeah. So I got the gummy ones. So I've been taking them for like 2 days now. And I was excited because I know you be big in your health and wellness. So I'm about to, when I get to work, I'm going to tell Zach, I'm going to flex. Like, man, I'm taking my vitamins now.
I'm dialed in.
Exactly. Like, I'm up there. And then I tell you about my vitamins. You were like, why did you buy that? Yeah. That's literally going to do nothing for you.
Yeah.
So why is that? Why me taking my man's 1-a-day vitamin every single day, 2 gummies, you know what I'm saying, strawberry? Yep. Why does that do nothing for me?
So there's kind of like there's multiple avenues I'm going to go down with this, right? But it's kind of all encompassing. Uh-huh. So the first one is there's like 4 supplements that have actual real research done in actual like university labs that the research shows there's benefit to taking it. Yeah.
What's that? What are those?
So it's creatine, it's caffeine, whey protein.
Whey?
Yep. And some will say casein protein, which is like one you can take at night. It's like a slower digesting, right? It's those 4. So whatever else falls in that, like a very common thing is people drinking, BCAAs, right? The research says that there may be a 10% benefit from drinking it. Maybe. And it says maybe. It's prefaced with that, right?
10%.
Right. 10%, right? So I look at that and I go, well, that BCAA is $50 for 30 servings.
Yeah.
Right? And it maybe gets me a 10% boost. So you just weigh out is it worth it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it's not.
Right.
So, and then that kind of gets me to, I don't trust the quality of it. So a lot of these labs are overseas. Okay. So like in China, no offense to China, but a lot of them are made in China. Okay. Yeah. And things can very easily get cross-contaminated. Right.
Yeah.
So for example, the company can tell you all they want. So essentially, are you going to take the company's word for it?
They do.
And I don't. It's just good marketing.
Yeah.
But you could think that you're taking L-carnitine, right? Or some fat-burning supplement, right?
Sounds familiar. Yes.
And it could be cross-contaminated with something else, okay? Because a lot of this stuff's made in the same area.
Exactly.
And so the quality is in question, right? But think about if you're a professional athlete, you could pop a drug test.
Yeah, y'all told me that, and that really shook me.
John Jones, the UFC fighter, right? One of the times he got suspended, I believe it was because of a tainted supplement from GAT, which is a supplement company that he was sponsored by.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. There's
stories of Olympic weightlifters who were taking supplements by a company that sponsored them. And USA Weightlifting takes the drug testing policies very seriously for that's elite.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And they popped a drug test.
That's terrible.
So then you have to pay to have all those individual supplements tested to find out which one was the reason that you popped the drug test.
Wow.
And then they'll suspend you for 4 years.
Years?
Yeah. Sometimes it could be as severe as 4 years. And then that's a whole Olympic window. That's gone.
That is, it's over with for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
you're not getting them years back.
Yeah. And another thing I think about is well, they're also not regulated by the FDA.
What is regulated by the FDA?
The Food and Drug Administration. So like they're who is responsible for making like the nutrition labels. Like if you buy a box of cornflakes, that's them, right? And essentially they try to keep like the quality. Yeah. Right?
Okay.
So if I wanted to right now, I could open my computer and I could start my own supplement brand.
Swear.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You want to?
Nah, I'm playing.
And that's how these people make all this money, right?
Really?
Yeah. Because and this is going to sound terrible, but this is how I genuinely feel. A lot of good-looking people just so happen to lift weights. They put their body on the product, and people say, I can look like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, no, probably not. Because everybody's different.
Exactly.
Right?
Genetics, bro. All that.
And that gets back to, like, why are you doing this in the first place?
100%. Wow.
Yeah. And so, like, it's not regulated.
So even, like, Men's One A Day, which is, like, the big company, the big ones, the big boys.
It could be a big company or a small company. It wouldn't make a difference to me.
Still not, like...
Yeah. And like, the big thing right now...
So you don't take vitamins?
I eat fruits and vegetables. Why would I need to take vitamins?
Ooh.
And that's one thing there's two more things I want to touch on with the vitamin thing. So the big thing, if you're going through social media right now, you'll see all these people drinking these red and greens powders. So essentially what their claim is that they'll put 11 servings of fruits and vegetables in a powdered form that tastes good that you can drink.
I just bought that.
No, you did not. No, from who? Did you buy from First Form with a discount code?
Amazon.
Yeah. So So
you mean to tell me when I be putting that little green stuff in my smoothies and my waters, I'm not like drinking my veggies for the day?
So it could be.
Yes, it
right?
is. It is. I'm gonna believe
so
it. I'm gonna
it could
believe
be
what I see on
okay.
the label. Yeah.
But so that leads me to two questions.
Uh-huh.
Are you using the supplement because your diet's not good?
Yes.
Okay. So that's something we could definitely fix, right?
Okay,
and then you don't need to spend $110 a month on red and greens powders because bananas are 59 cents a pound, right?
That part. Yeah.
Okay. And then the second thing is, hypothetically, let's say that it is what it says it is, then why would every doctor in America not be prescribing it? Right? They have no problems prescribing everything else.
Yeah.
So if those red and greens were as good as people seem to think they are, my doctor, if it would look at me and they would say, "Oh, you should take this."
Exactly.
Right? It's going to boost. It's going to make you healthier. But they're not doing that.
They're not.
And it's just,
it's wild.
It is. It's wild. There's so much money in that industry.
Vortex, man.
Like money talks, right? People will say that they take things and not take it because they're getting a royalty or they're getting a cut.
100%.
And in terms of like you like buying it, right? You're buying it because you think your diet is inadequate.
Exactly.
Right? And nobody's tried to fix it. Right?
Vitamin D, vitamin C.
But the reason I don't believe in drinking red and greens is because when you drink a fruit and vegetable in a liquid form, you don't get the fiber.
I don't even know what that means. I know you need that.
Fiber is like what keeps you moving.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like when you eat an apple,
Terrible.
that skin is fiber.
Yeah.
That's what helps bowel movements big time. Right? You need to have a certain amount of fiber a day to make sure that things are moving well.
Yeah.
And when you drink reds and greens, you're not getting that fiber. And my fear is that a lot of people are taking these reds and greens and then being like, I don't need to eat any fruit and vegetables. It's not true.
That's literally me. That's me.
You bought it because you're like, this means I don't have to eat broccoli.
Yeah, like, yo, I do. I will not have
I don't have to eat
lick
Brussels
of broccoli.
sprouts. I don't have to eat green beans.
I'm
I don't have to
good.
eat, you know?
I can eat my chicken and my rice, and then I'll have my green juice,
Right.
and that's my vegetables. See,
It's just not the case.
man, bro.
So
wow, that's put me on.
And anything.
So are the
if they
green
didn't
juices the worst thing for you? Are they?
Oh, I can't say if they're bad for you or not.
Okay, not bad for you, but like, it's not. So you mean just to be clear, it's not a substitute for vegetables.
No, it's not. And the thing too is like, so okay, let's say you do it right and you enjoy it because the placebo effect is a real thing. You can make yourself think that things are working when they're not. The mind is super powerful,
100%.
right? Do you want to spend $110 a month the rest of your life?
No.
On greens and reds powders?
I do not.
So then what happens when you stop? Your mind says, I'm not healthy anymore.
I'm not eating my veggies.
Right. So I'm not married, these Instagram influencers and these fit chicks with their discount codes and
green teas.
It detoxify. They feel like detoxify is the worst word ever in the fitness industry. Like that's what you have a liver for.
They love
right. Like
detox. Yeah,
you don't
detox juices. The juices.
And it's
stuff
just
like that. Wait, so the juices don't work?
Those cleanses?
Yes.
No, man.
What?
You didn't buy that.
I didn't buy it, but I've seen people do it, and I've thought about it.
It's insane.
I've considered it.
No,
they look cool in little bottles. They got the different colors. They got the different.
So, do you know one time I bought a pre-workout?
Yeah.
Because I thought the label looked cool.
That's fire.
That's how they get you though. Like these people are professionals at marketing.
Yo, I can't believe the cleanses don't work.
They can say whatever they want on the label because it's not regulated.
Bro.
So they could say this supplement has 5 grams of creatine, it has 5 grams of beta-alanine, and it has 5 grams of BCAAs, and it could have 1 gram of each, and they could throw the rest with sawdust or rice flour. And they could throw it in a capsule.
Are you serious?
Yeah, hell yeah. And people...
They can say that and then not actually be in it?
Yeah. 100%.
I feel bamboozled.
You are taking their word for it.
I feel taken advantage of right now. Wow.
And
that's not fair.
Even if
it's like a...
And think about like those magazine ads. Those people don't walk around like that all the time. They got shredded up a week prior, got super tan.
Yeah, they did.
And cut all the water out of their body.
And shut up.
And then says, I take hydroxycut. No, you don't. I promise you don't.
Man.
Or like these bodybuilders that create their own supplement brands. You take steroids. You're selling normal people supplements, and you're deceiving them that they are going to reach your results when you inject yourself with something that they would never do.
Jesus Christ.
And then you make thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
Jesus.
Get these loyal fans.
They're killing it right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lucrative market. If I was not a good person, I would totally do it.
Oh, you'd probably murder that market.
Right.
You'd kill it.
But it's morals. I can't do it.
That's a fact. No, that's dope, and that's what's gonna set you apart, man. 100%. Because you don't ever, like forsake your dignity just to make a few dollars.
Yeah.
And that's been my biggest thing. And not just trying to do anything just for some money. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna come to you. Right. Like what's supposed to come to you will definitely come to you. And just you being a good person and keeping people up on game, putting me up on game, because a lot of the stuff I didn't even know. I thought like we had talked about a lot, and I didn't know those cleanses didn't work.
And that last part's probably going to ruffle some feathers.
Yo,
I know you probably have some friends that are in multi-level marketing supplement companies that sell it. Right?
Yeah, I know a couple of influencers that be on that. Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell people they can't make their money or whatever. Like I get it, you got to feed your kids and stuff, but
get your bread.
You're not going to feed them with my money. That's all I'm saying.
No,
right?
100%.
And
also,
you just got to be honest.
Also, the green powder really low blow, bro. You already got me with the vitamins not doing nothing for me.
Honestly, I thought you would have asked me first.
I don't do vegetables, so I'm thinking okay,
you got to try though, even if it's just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, anyways, man, thank you, man. You might get canceled after this.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. But I always anybody that I've coached or that knows me really well, they'll know that I'm not a sellout.
No,
and
facts.
that I practice what I preach.
100%.
So I would never tell you to eat broccoli when I wouldn't.
Facts.
I would never tell you to work out when I wouldn't. But yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on. This was really cool.
This was cool, man. And I'm going to definitely make sure to put all your information in the bio and all that. Go support my mans. As y'all can see, man, general dude, like genuine dude, good dude, will definitely get you right and will put you in the right position. Won't just work you out and try to get you as big and strong as possible. We'll do that also, but also will educate you, man. And when it comes to, lifestyle, fitness, and then even health and nutrition, man. So thank you for coming. You know what I'm saying?
It. Yeah, it's been really fun.
Facts. Sure. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're watching. Leave a review for all the podcasters out there, man. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Kickin' with Joe. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.